email, all of that would all sit in a single database. And it would talk to, ideally, email software like MailChimp. Do you have MailChimp here, or what kind of email systems do you use?
In USUS we use MailChimp, and
Okay.
I know a lot of the businesses that have started with CRM, very first move on that has been looking into email systems,
Okay.
and then MailChimp a lot has chosen.
So that's that kind of thing.
It's more like it's free if
under a certain.
if you
Yeah.
get up to 2,000 respondents,
Yeah.
then you can have a pay-as-you-go deal. It's very
Yeah.
cheap system. So,
Yeah.
and if any of the businesses are interested in starting with email marketing, there's a lot of experience and sharings from both businesses and also in USUS on do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
A lot.
So
You don't have to do all the mistakes yourself.
So ideally, you want your customer database linked to your email software, so you can decide who you want to do something with here. You might say, oh, I just want to find my families, and then I'm going to do an email just to families, and you push it into MailChimp or whatever it is. And then potentially then perhaps survey software. You might decide there's certain, maybe people who purchased for the first time from you, you want to send them a survey to find out more. So in an ideal world, the open rate, the opens, the clicks, the unsubscribes from this make their way back into here. That happens with very few systems, but it is possible, and it's possible with free CRM systems and free email systems, so you don't have to spend a lot of money. Ideally, you don't just want to look at, 30% of people opened my email. Well, that's great, but which ones? These people in here, who opened? Did she open the email? This person that is a very valuable customer who hasn't bought from you for a year and you're really worried about, did she open the email? Oh, I don't know. So ideally you need that information back in here so you can go, yes, she did, so we can now re-email her or retarget her in some way, okay? And the same with the survey software. Ideally, there's some ethical issues around this, which we can talk about later if we need to, but there are bits of the feedback that you might want to come back into the system. Again, very few people are doing that, but in an ideal world, that would be my holy grail. So, what you're looking for is a single view of the customer. A lot of the businesses that I've worked with here and in the UK, we've got a mailing list. That's great. We have an Excel spreadsheet with all the names on, or we have all of them in MailChimp, and that's great. And then we have a sales system where we sell our products. Oh no, we don't take any data from the customer there, so we don't know who those people are. But we've got this great mailing list. Well, how many of those people on that mailing list have purchased from you in the last year? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so ideally you want that single view. Okay, so that's the kind of traditional CRM approach. So what that means, the sorts of things that companies have been able to do when they've got all that in place with their system, they've been able to do clever email campaigns, they've been able to segment and target their content. So like I said earlier, you could find all the families, send them a specific communication aimed at families, and you can actually start to do that one-to-one communication on a mass scale quite easily with technology. Whereas previously, to get that one-to-one communication, you would have had to be literally meeting people. And some of the results are quite impressive. So just a couple of examples, which, apologies Heidi, you've seen these before, the sorts of things. So here is an email that I got quite a long time ago now, actually. This is old style CRM. I got this, how did I get this? I'd had people to stay over Christmas, and I'd bought a lot of wine, okay? And most of the wine that I'd bought, because it's what I like best, was Sauvignon Blanc, white Sauvignon Blanc wine, okay, French. And they sent me this email offering me money off wine. I was obviously top of their list, going, very valuable customer, spends a lot of money on wine, complete alco. So I got this email, and it was obviously promoting their general wine sale. So probably everybody who bought from them got this email. But the interesting thing to me was this picture here. Probably can't see. It's a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think their database knew that A, I was a valuable customer because I'm an alco, and B, the thing that I bought most was Sauvignon Blanc. So their database, their clever email system, it's not that clever now, but it was then, 6 years ago, went, okay, send her the email, put in picture of the thing that she buys most of. So I get a picture of Sauvignon Blanc. I'd like to bet the next person on the list, if they bought Merlot, red wine, they would get a picture of Merlot. Now maybe I'm reading too much into this, it's quite possible, that's probably a very popular wine that lots of people buy. But this box here says, so this is the generic message, save 25%. So we've got 25% of all our wines in January. But this here says save 25% on Sauvignon Blanc. Again, I don't think that's an accident. I think they've deliberately put that text in there. But it's quite clever because they've created a sort of generic campaign, general message to everybody, but then they've put in some very targeted content to match my interests, or at least what they know about me. They know I've bought a lot of that. It's a good bet that even if I bought it for somebody else, there's a good bet that I'm interested in that. And I haven't seen their figures because I don't work for this company, but I would like to bet if they tested a very generic, with no tailoring of content, against this, they probably had more people clicking on this and probably more people purchasing as a result of it. So it's quite a simple way of tailoring something just based on what you know about them. The second example I've got of this, again, this is quite old now. My partner bought me a Kindle for Christmas a few years ago. And the first time I went onto Amazon, because you have to register your Kindle on Amazon to be able to buy the digital books. So I went on, all excited on Boxing Day, put my details in, started downloading the books. First thing I saw when I went onto Amazon after I had registered my Kindle was this. Because Amazon knew I'd got a Kindle because I'd registered it. According to my purchase history with Amazon, I hadn't bought a case for it. My husband knew better than to buy me a case because I needed to choose my own. So this was the first thing that I saw. Now, there's a chance he might have bought me a case, but he hadn't. I just thought it was really clever. And this is also a really good example of a company who could have seen digital books as a threat to their core business. You know, Amazon were selling millions of books, and then these digital things, these digital devices come along. What was even cleverer about the way that they did this was they started recommending books for my Kindle based on the sorts of books I had previously been buying in paper copy. So instead of going, oh, she's got a Kindle now, we're not going to get any more books out of her, are we? They went, what do we know about her? We know she liked these sorts of printed books. Now she's got a Kindle, we can recommend books based on that purchase history to her to get her to buy more of those. So again, it's all about, and I know Amazon have got millions of pounds and they don't pay any tax and all that stuff, but the principles are very simple. You use what information you have on that customer to reflect back to them. And that does two things. Firstly, it should make them buy more, which is good. But secondly, it makes them feel good about doing business with you because you feel like they care. They know about you, they're giving you stuff you're interested in, and you like it, usually. Okay, so where are we now? The principles of CRM, I think, remain true, that companies have to understand the data they have about their customers and use that data to talk to their customers. So people start to expect to see content that is relevant and meaningful to them. I think customers are so spoilt now by having bespoke content given to them that if you send them blanket mass stuff, they'll just press delete or won't even open it. They're expecting you to do the hard work for them and put stuff in front of them that they're interested in or that you think that they're interested in. So my world was all quite easy and simple. until a few years ago, because most businesses weren't doing this. I went in and helped them to do this. It's all fairly straightforward. You know, we get a decent system in place if we need it. We start doing some campaigns, they work, and it's all great. And then a bunch of other stuff's happened, which has kind of put a spanner in the works and had quite a big effect on all of this. And that's really the speed of innovation in terms of technology and digital. And that's just changing the CRM landscape. There's plenty of CRM writers who have basically said CRM is now dead. The world has moved on, and that is one point of view. I don't think it has. I think it's just changed, and I think we need to be aware of what those changes are. And I think there's both challenges and opportunities in that change, especially for small businesses actually. So the three things that I've kind of centred on, there's millions of things that have changed, but the three things that I've kind of picked up on most are these three, and the reason I've put them as cogs is I think they're all interrelated. Privacy, power and trust, and I'll talk a bit about each of those. So firstly, privacy. One of the first questions I'm usually asked when I talk about data collection and data capture is, oh, people don't like giving their data protection, data permissions. People are really twitchy about that now. Fewer people are willing to hand over their data. And I think we need to be worried about that. This is stuff from way back in 2013.